Also, this movie's going to have the Captain America versus the Winter Soldier. Who will win? Also, before we begin, I just want to say this right now. Hail Hydra! Okay, so after the Snorefest, that was Thor the Bland World. Seriously, I know I saw this movie, but I still can't remember a thing about it. We got Captain America the Winter Soldier, and this is what Thor the Dark World should have been. A good sequel to a good movie that expands the universe, goes through better character development, and is actually a good time to watch. This is probably my favorite movie in Phase 2. Don't get me wrong. This is probably tied with Guardians of the Galaxy. So maybe right now I prefer Winter Soldier, but who knows? After rewatching Guardians, I may prefer it. I can literally, every time I watch these movies, I kind of prefer one of them in. So yeah. So what's the plot of this movie? Well, this movie takes place after the events of the Avengers, where Steve has freelance jobs as S.H.I.E.L.D. and is basically, they're trying to clean up the dirt. But here's the thing. Since he's in this new modern world, most of his friends are gone. In fact, there's actually kind of an emotional scene where he goes to visit Peggy in the hospital where she has Alzheimer's, and right when she remembers Steve, she forgets because of Alzheimer's. It's kind of sad. And you can see Steve slowly crying, and since he has like a tear there. But unfortunately, the evil villains that were in the first Captain America movie, known as Hydra, have been taken over S.H.I.E.L.D. and presumably killed Nick Fury, even though he was in the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. Yeah, sorry Marvel, you can't fake us out like that, sorry. Steven is said not to trust anyone, and he and a small ragtag of people had to take down Hydra, who was taking over S.H.I.E.L.D., to bring some good American justice back. Unfortunately, they run into the Winter Soldier, who is Bucky Barnes. Yeah, Bucky Barnes survived, even though he lost an arm and has a new metal arm, which is kind of rad. And I'll fully admit, and basically, they have other characters like Black Widow and the Falcon. So, does this movie honestly live up to the hype it has? Well, I said I loved it in the first half in this review, so yeah, I do love this movie. I love its story. It is probably one of my favorite stories in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Also, to give credit where this movie is due, this movie has Black Widow and Nick Fury, and unlike Iron Man 2 where they serve no purpose to the plot, these two actually serve a purpose. Unlike Iron Man 2 where they're just there to say, hey, we're setting up the Avengers, derpy-derped. Also, it's kind of funny rewatching. Also, here's the thing. Remember the scene where Nick Fury said, I lost an eye? Well, after seeing Captain Marvel, all the suspense and all the seriousness from that scene is completely taken away. Thanks a lot, Captain Marvel. Instead of Phil Coulson being possessed by a Skrull, we have a stupid cat removing his eye. I like that movie, but that part frustrates me as a fan of Winter Soldier. So if you love Winter Soldier, you're gonna get angry at that scene. Also, I love how they don't do the classic old, oh, he's a man at a time, so he's going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, how does this computer stuff work? How does this technology work? I don't know how it works. This should be a thumbnail, this voice. But seriously, I'm glad they don't do that, and they actually decide not to do it. In fact, he even has like a bucket list of things he missed out on, like Star Trek, Rocky 2, Old Boy. Hey, at least he's not watching the remake. Though, to be fair, that movie does have Thanos and Scarlet Witch in it. So, that would create a time paradox. Thanks a lot, Doctor Strange. Dormammu had to bargain. But still. Also, then there's the other characters in this movie. I love how the Falcon is introduced in this movie. Like, he's good in this movie, but I do kind of understand the friendship he has with Steve Rogers. It's actually kind of cute. Also, I have to applaud this movie on one major thing. You see, you know how Black Widow and Steve are pretty much like the main characters in the movie? Well, guess what? The main male and the main female character are not romantically involved in this movie. In fact, in the movie, Black Widow is actually trying to get Steve a date. That's actually kind of cool and actually kind of weird, to say the least. And actually kind of good. Also, you remember that guy in the Iron Man 2 who was basically saying, Tony, you should give your weapons to us. Well, you want to know a funny fact? He's actually a Hydra agent. I knew there was something weird about that guy. I don't know yet. Although, to be fair, he was the guy saying, these whips are the equivalent of Iron Man suits. So, yeah, he is kind of dumb already, so yeah. But still, the action in this movie is just breathtaking. The hand-to-hand knife fight is incredible. In fact, it was actually done by Sebastian Stan and Chris Evans. Like, seriously, they didn't get a stunt double. Oh, no, they decided to do it all on their own. And it is amazing how Sebastian Stan didn't accidentally stab Chris Evans. Also, this movie also has another thing of this movie that I love. Captain America. I love how basically he's trying to show the government way, like he's trying to show the American way. In fact, probably my favorite scene in this movie is probably the scene where he's giving this speech saying this, the price of freedom is high, but it's a price I'm willing to take. That is good character development in my opinion. That's one thing I really love about this movie. How it shows he respects American spirit rather than American government. In fact, he even points this out to Nick Fury. This isn't freedom, this is fear. That is really cool in my opinion. Also, another thing about the action is that there's the one scene where he takes down a jet single-handedly with just his shield. That is awesome. And also, I love the car chase fight between Nick Fury and the police. That is also cool in my opinion. Also, let's talk about the Stan Lee cameo real quick. Now, there's a museum dedicated to Captain America, and it is awesome, really. There's a scene where, basically, this kid's all like, oh, you're Captain America! And the kid's and Steve's all this, shh. It reminds me how X-Men 2, it reminds me how, one of the X-Men movies, when one of those kids sees Cyclops, and Cyclops says, shh. That's kind of cute. But apparently Steve decided to steal that uniform from the museum, and Stan Lee comes in and is like this, oh, I am so fired after this. It's nice and to the point, which is something I really like. But overall, what can I say about this movie that hasn't been said before? It's amazing, and it's probably the best movie in Phase 2, and one of the best movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it feels more like a spy movie than a superhero movie. So for that reason alone, I'm giving this movie an S rank for a 10 out of 10. I highly recommend you see this movie. It is just fantastic all around. I personally adore it. So see y'all later in my Guardians of the Galaxy review. And yes, this is a t-shirt. I'm hooked on that feeling. Bye.